Our family has been on the go quite some time at this point, and we finally got to a location where we could sit and relax for a couple weeks. At this point in the journey, we traveled approximately 1,100 miles in 8 days. We were exhausted, but we were happy we did all the things we had up to that point. We saw some amazing sights, ate some great food, and got to spend some quality time together doing things we don't normally do. On this week's episode, we are slowing things down a bit and wanted to show you some other things that full-time RVers and homeschoolers do. Yes, you can homeschool from the road. Join us as we live life now. You hear that?
What?
Nothing.
Because the kids aren't awake yet.
Kids are still asleep. Best time to get coffee. You're so far away.
Yeah. Did you want me closer? Here, honey.
Oh.
See our little RV love seat. It's plenty big enough for 3 people. It's almost like a real couch. See, Reg's trying to get in here.
Basically the same thing. Real couch.
It's actually not horrible. It's not a place I'd want to sleep because it's a little short, but
Yeah, the
it's not
lounging is not great.
unless you're kid sized.
Yeah.
If you're about 10 or under, you can probably sleep here quick.
If you're under 4 feet 6 inches, it's probably not bad at all. Hey, you need pets from me too? Want pets from me? There you go. Here, one child stirring.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
still.
a foot that moved.
It's usually our early morning child. It's kind of late for him, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wakes up till we're up. So if we're sleeping later, we're quiet.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't wake up. And Brielle would sleep all day if we let her. Eventually, at like 2 p.m., she'd yell at us to be quiet. That's about it.
All right. We better get going.
We're not leaving at 10.
We got 8 minutes left.
But I've got hot coffee, which means in about 10 minutes I will be nice and awake. I'm pretty much ready, so I'll just have to rush the kids through the bathroom, getting ready, and then we can start putting things away.
Yep. All right.
Oh, Brandon hits his head on the slide daily. You would think he would realize it's there.
We have found that it is important to reward the kids for a job well done. Once they finish all their schoolwork for the year, they get to make a trip to the local supermarket and pick out anything they want in the snacks and drinks aisle.
All right, so we are out here for our probably 5th annual Read and Feed Day.
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6. Brielle doesn't want to show her face because she's not dressed up. But Teal, why don't you tell us what Read and Feed Day is?
Snack and reading day.
What is it?
So snack and read.
Here, sit up. You're gonna have to be loud because of the highway noise.
Snack and reading day is where you have your parents let you have whatever snacks you want, and unless it depends the parent. If it's a parent like you, then they'll let you have whatever snacks you want. And you read books. I'm just listening to audiobooks on my headphones. And you eat food.
Yes, we have a whole selection of snacks.
And we got stuff in the fridge and the freezer too. Because our cookies, our fudge stripes were melting.
Oh no. So the kids are out here. This is RV style. Normally we do this on the floor or in the living room, curled up. And the kids just get to read all day and they get to eat whatever snacks they want.
Why are you eating?
Road schooling doesn't have to be limited to just things they would learn from a book. We take time to teach our kids other practical things like doing the dishes, laundry, and when the opportunity presents itself, changing a tire.
When you want something done right, you do it yourself. But no, in all seriousness, every time you see someone on YouTube emptying a black tank, it's a man. So I decided to do it because I can do this too.
All right, let's start off with the most important thing.
Gloves.
Well, I was thinking that. Tell all the people what that is and what its purpose is.
So this clear joint, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. What's it called?
I don't actually know what it's called.
Oh, so this is proof that I almost always exclusively the Flush King. Yes, that is the glorious Flush King.
And why do you want a clear joint? So that you could actually see what's coming out and make sure it's clear. Because as you can tell, the hose is brown. You can't actually see what's coming through there and what's not. So having the clear Flush Clean King, you can see when the water starts to run clear, which means it's fully emptied out. So it's also got a valve on it, so you can close and open it there. The first thing I want to do is make sure my gray tank is closed so that I'm not sending septic up into our gray tank. That's the shower and sink runoff. So very different and separate from the toilet water. And once I make sure that this is closed, now I'm going to pull the black plug, which is going to empty the toilet contents through this hose and down to our dump station. So the amount of time it takes to empty is going to depend on how full it is. When it comes out, if it's pretty full like ours is, it is going to be a big trickle of liquid, and then it will gradually slow down to less and less. If your tank's not very full, I'd probably wait till it's more full. It actually gets cleaned out better the more full the tank is. But then it might only take, 30 seconds to a minute to empty as opposed to 5.
So watching this, the flow doesn't seem to be as high as I am used to seeing it. Yeah, so I think that there might be some chunks in there that didn't get broken down.
Just what you want to think about are the chunks.
Chunks in your black tank. So what we're going to do is we're going to close up the valve here. That's what Sunny's going to do. And then we're going to go in and check on the levels. And if the levels show like 2/3 or full still, that means that most likely everything didn't get broken down like it was supposed to. So we'll need to back flush it with the
So for anyone who doesn't understand RV tanks, we do put these little tablets in there that are supposed to liquefy things and make it easier to come out, but there should still be some solids because it's a toilet. Whoa. And honestly, I don't really have a huge ick factor. I worked in hospitals for a long time. I had children. It doesn't really gross me out.
Don't put that lid on my other stuff. Yep, good.
Just so you're not cross-contaminating toilet things with other things.
Now, before you go to that side, our black flush is right here. Our black tank flush is on this side. So, yep, you just pop that little cap off there.
So when Brandon and I do this together, sometimes I usually hook this up for him while he is on the other side. So if we're at like a pull-through dump station.
Hold on, do that slow just in case there's still some water left in there.
Oh.
I don't want that getting all over you. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, if we're at just like a pull-through dump station and we're not at a site with hookups, oftentimes Brandon and I will do this together to make it a little bit faster because you'll see a whole line of RVs together. And because ours goes under the rig, he usually tosses it to me and then I put it on the front.
I'm letting her do this solo though. This is kind of fun to watch.
So I did empty the tank once last week while Brandon was on a business trip. I did not flush it out. I just emptied it because we were filling up. Am I turning this over? I'm turning it over. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Well, in this case, it's lefty-tighty because your threads are reversed on the outside. So.
Okay, nice and tight.
Okay, so that does leak just a little bit. So anything that's underneath it will kind of get wet. So I tend to, yep.
You see Reggie is
We got chairs and we got Reggie under there. He might get wet. Reggie, come over here. Reg.
So we dedicate this hose to this purpose. This is not the hose that we run fresh water through our sinks or showers with.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
Just for anyone new to this who doesn't know. Get a separate hose for your toilet.
So the easiest way to do this, or the most successful way to do this, is to kind of grab it and throw it underneath there. I probably need to get like a long clothes hanger or something, like one of the metal ones that I can just grab and loop, or a string with a rock on it or something, but there we go. That's how you do it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, got it.
Okay. So yeah, take the gloves off.
This is our fresh hose that's bringing clean water into the paper. Well, now my hands are getting sweaty. It's getting a little.
I would turn the water off first, but you know, that's just me.
We are going swimming later.
Here, one other thing too. So this hose is pressurized, so you can see how long it is. This is one of the main reasons why I set up the outdoor shower too, is so I can relieve pressure when I need to. So this is all going to be basically just cold water. You don't have to run any of the hot water out because it's all in the hot water heater. So Sonny, if you just turn the cold water on, turn it on. Now watch your hose shrink. See how it's shrinking? That's all the pressure coming out of the hose because that water is getting pumped into the system. And you don't have to worry about running anything dry at this point because there's no pump that's working. It's all just pressurized from the city water. So I just let some of it out where I think, okay, it's not bad now. When I undo it, it's not going to spray everywhere.
That's why you're doing that, so it doesn't
That's
spray out.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, because if not, you've got 50 feet of water still in your hose that's pressurized that's going to go somewhere.
Swimming a little earlier too.
Yeah. So, yep, she just turned it off there. So now the pressure in the line is pretty much gone. It's not soft. So you see the water regulator, right? The copper part at the top. Yeah, right there.
Makes sense.
Oh,
man.
turn it the other way. That way, yeah. There you go. There you go.
I see why you got the water out of the hose. That would be fun.
Yep.
Then I can just set
And
this
just
down.
lay down. Yep.
Put my gloves back on to touch the toilet hose.
Now, go ahead and I would get the hose away from this area a little bit, just because if the black tank hose leaks when you have it on, you're not worrying about any of that water dripping onto your freshwater hose. Make sure it's straight. There you go.
I'll tighten that a second. Get my glove back on.
Maybe with her doing the full process this time, I won't get chastised for taking so long.
Just. Well, normally he's doing it when we're trying to go somewhere, and so we're all waiting on him.
Yeah, it's because it needs to be done. Yeah, if you think it's tight enough. Okay. Turn it on. And then as your hose pressurizes, all of that water will then go through your black tank.
Do we need to go stand on the other side of the black tank? Or do you...
No.
And do you... I know sometimes you close that valve and stuff. Are we going to do that?
So, yes, we are. So you currently have the main black tank closed.
Oh.
So nothing
that's
is
why
nothing's flowing through. That means your black tank is filling up. You can usually wait a couple minutes and it'll kind of fill up part of the tank, and then you can let her rip. But that's the benefit of the Flush King too, is you can see what's coming through.
Is anything coming through?
Yep.
Is it water?
Yep. So we'll just, since we've got it hooked up, we'll just do a full flush now. There's no reason not to. So we can get it all cleaned out and fresh, and we just won't do the reverse. So the Flush King also has this piece right here where you can, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Where this end this end of the black tank hose that goes into the black tank flush will actually go into there. And what it does is it creates a pressurized shot that way into the tank. And it works really well with cleaning out any of the stuff that's built up in the front or something like that. But, yep, sorry we had to do a battery swap here. But yeah, water looks like it's running pretty clear. The bathroom fan was left on, so it smells a little bit like a fart in the trailer right now. So we're gonna have to get that aired out, but a little bit, yeah.
Oh.
So word to the wise, don't have the bathroom fan on while you're flushing out the tanks, because obviously a lot of things are moving around in there and it's trying to suck stuff out at the same time. So that's
The toilet's closed, right?
Toilet's closed, yeah, I checked everything. Now Sunny's gonna go over and stop the water at the faucet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There we go. And we'll just pretty much let this run till, well, really there's nothing left, because then your tank's empty. And then we'll disconnect everything. Actually, we can start disconnecting the hose now. For the hose, she's gonna go the right way.
See, that's poop water.
Yeah.
But you want to leave that black tank closed, because the more liquid in your tank, the better. So just keep that closed till you're ready to flush.
So the last step of the process, after you feel pretty good about the black, is you wash out your hose and everything with your gray, and it flows all the way down, cleans out your whole line here. The last piece I wanted to talk about was another clear joint that we have at the bottom here. That'll tell you whenever you have all of the liquid out, and it really helps for when you're pegging things up. So yeah, after you're done with the gray, yeah, I just like to spray that. Yeah, mainly where it hooks in, because that's where we, yeah. That's good. You don't have to do a ton. And then grab the fresh water. You can go put that away. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can finally take those orange gloves off.
As fashionable as they are, I want to touch my face now that I have one.
Just hook up the fresh water back to the faucet. Turn it on. Some people like to use one of those Y connectors to have two sides of the water to use, but I just don't like doing that. I don't know, it kind of gets into my head that one side was meant for black and one side is meant for fresh, so I just like to keep them separated like this, and then just sanitize each time we're going to use our fresh line. So that's what I like to do.
Turn it on.
Yep, and turn it back on. And that's it.
See the hose pulling up.
Yep. Good to go.